Hello everybody, Firestorm here today for a review. So anyway, let's get started here. Digimon TRI, or TRI, Part 1 Reunion. So, watched it last night. Absolutely loved it. Really good to be back in the digital world. Great to see all the original Adventure 1 characters. Obviously they're all older. Where to begin? Well, let's just start with the obvious stuff. This is much darker. It's got a much more mature theme. It really does give you the insight to the fact that they're all older now. They're all in the teens now, so it's much more, I suppose you could say they're more aware of each other. Yeah, they're becoming aware of each other in a much more bigger way than just friends. There's definitely some romance going on there, and at the same time the mannerisms are changing. Everything about them's changed, and that's one of the things that I really like about this particular film. The Digidestin, the characters have changed from the children that they were in Adventure 1 to the young adults they are now, and as a result the way they perceive things is different. There is going to be minor spoilers, just to let you know. So if you haven't seen it, minor spoilers coming up, just to let you all know. So one of the things I love is Tai. Tai's character is extremely different from how he was in Adventure 1. He's now much more aware of the real outcomes of the Digimon fighting in the real world, and he's got this fear that's gripping him that he can't stop thinking about, and he keeps worrying that eventually people are going to get hurt, maybe even be killed when the Digimon fight in the real world, and this is what's holding him back, and that is having a negative effect on the group as a whole, because you take one pillar away from something, collapses. So Tai is currently really having one hell of a wake-up call to reality. Then with Matt's very much the same, I think. I'd say he's obviously they're all older, but Matt's kind of very much in the middle of trying to lead the group, and at the same time trying to convince Tai that they shouldn't worry so much, and that it's an inevitable reality that bad things will happen. And then if you look, one of the things I like is, if you jump over to TK and Kari, you've definitely got the whole early blooming thing going on with these two. It's kind of obvious that you've got the whole, yeah, they like each other, but TK, being a guy, is kind of not noticing it, and Kari's being real subtle about it, but maybe she just doesn't really want to tell him how she feels about him. And then I suppose in the middle you've got Mimi, who's kind of looking like she's going to become TK's kind of go-to crush, which is kind of interesting. And then obviously in the middle of that you've got Sora, who seems to be very stuck between almost like a love triangle between Sora, Tai and Matt, which was kind of there in Adventure 2, vaguely. So one of the things that I generally liked about this was, as I said, the maturity of it. It was dealing with Digimon on a much bigger scale, and really made you feel like this happened in the real world. This is what would happen. Interestingly enough, there's now some sort of group that monitor the Digidestin, that know about the digital world. They get introduced in a very basic way. You don't know a lot about them, you just know that they're kind of there, and they've been talking to Genai, who's basically the guy who lives in the digital world that helps the Digidestin. So there's kind of a lot more going on than meets the eye. I would have to definitely say, my biggest theory right now, major spoilers, if you haven't seen the film, do not watch from here on, because I'm going to discuss a spoiler. So, are the Season 2 Adventure 2 Digidestin dead? Now, I'm not taking into account TK and Kari here, because they're Adventure 1. They were involved in Adventure 2, yes, but for obviously purposes of the film, they are in it. And what about, Davis and Yo Lee and the and you know what I mean, the O2 kids, I think they're dead. Because at the start of the film, there's a rather dark in-between moment where it appears the O2 Digidestin are fighting a very powerful Digimon. It kind of hints that they're defeated and maybe killed by this Digimon. This Digimon shows up later in the film and it has a huge battle. But there's a lot more going on. So I'm kind of asking myself, are the O2 characters dead? Because it seems like they are. But I guess we'll find out as the film progresses. By the way, just on a side note, there's going to be 5 films. So part 2 is going to be out later this year, probably around Christmas time in the UK release. But anyway, back to my thoughts on this matter. It was so good to go back to Digimon. I mean, I love Digimon. Yeah, I'm wearing a Pokemon t-shirt, but you know, Digimon's going to be always my preferred love over Pokemon. Digimon just rules. But this film generally really is going back. Not just going back, but going forward. I mean, if that has the original Japanese intro in it, and I love the original Japanese intro music for Digimon, it's brilliant. And you really get that feeling of growing up and how people become separated as they get older because life takes over and you have your own life to live. And obviously everybody comes back and they reunite to fight this threat that's happening on Earth, and they reunite with all the Digimon. And I'm definitely convinced that obviously the next few films it's going to grow. There's going to be conflicts, I think, within the group of them. There's going to be romance, as I said, conflicts. I think we're going to see certain characters change. I think it's quite possible there might be a transition. I think Matt could possibly become the new leader, because I kind of have this feeling that Tai might break away from the group, possibly, because it feels like it's going that way. He's very much struggling. He's struggling. He's trying to come to terms with the reality of the situation. And now that he's older, he's realising that it's not a game. People are going to get hurt. And on a side note, a new Digidestin comes into it. Interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what she's going to be all about in the next film. Biggest thing for me, I generally want to know what's up with the O2 Digidestin. Adventure 2, man. Are they dead? Are they injured? Where are they? Because seriously, if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about. The opening part of the film seems to hint that they're either dead, either being killed, or severely injured in a battle in the digital world. That's kind of what it's hinting at. But I guess we'll find out. But through, it was great, as I said, to just go back to the digital world. It was great. It was great to see the characters again. Great to see all the awesome battles. Gotta say, the animation in this is just incredible. It's beautiful. The animation is incredible. It's, as I said, it's grown up. It's not just the characters. It's not just the film itself. It's the animation. It's the characters' body language. It's everything. And I'm generally looking forward to seeing what is planned for the future films. Because as I said, there's 4 more to go. There's going to be 5 altogether. So I'm definitely looking forward to what's going to happen in the future for Digimon. So this is me, Firestorm, giving you a brief review, thoughts on Digimon TRI Adventure Return, Digimon TRI Chapter 1 Reunion, Blu-ray Collector's Edition. Anyway, people, go and buy it if you like Digimon, watch it, and ultimately enjoy it, because it's a very good film. Really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next 4 parts. And yeah, Digimon is superior to Pokemon. And yes, I'm wearing a Pokemon t-shirt, but this is a nice t-shirt. It's got Pokemon all over it. I need to get a Digimon one with Digimon all over it. But anyway, thank you for watching. Peace out, people.